So I just want you to hear what I'm saying. It's not so much as a lecture as it is a discussion. So I've already told you this camp's a little bit different, right? We don't isolate you from one another. You're together. Some of your lectures are together. And when I came up with this concept, some people thought I was crazy, right? Because you come to debate camp. Why would a public forum debater need to be with a policy debater? Why would an LDer need to be with a public forum debater? Why aren't they separate? So this is where I kind of explain to you why we do it this way and what you should get out of the camp, right? So if at the end you would say something to me like, well, I just really wanted to hear about LD, you've missed something somewhere. Right, so why do we do that this way? Most camps, they isolate debate events. We mix them up. Why? Because I think all debate is valuable in educational, and I think we've forgotten about that in this community, in the debate community in general, particularly in collegiate policy debate. That any level of debate, any time spent on debate is very valuable and will change your life. Okay? I think it provides you an immeasurable amount of life skills and educational benefits. I could never name them all here. Okay? So we come together at various points in the camp so we can remember that we're all one debate community. It's not that we are a policy debate community, we're not a public forum community, an LD community, but we are a debate community. So I bring us together. Some people you'll hear, they think one type of debate is superior to the other, right? PF. I only do PF, I love PF. PF is my debate event. LD for life, LD for life. I don't want to do any of that other stuff, it doesn't make any sense, I don't want any partner, I'm going to do it by myself. Or then you hear the policy debaters. Policy debate. It's the granddaddy of all debate events. It's the best one. Okay. But you also hear other things, right? Certain levels of debate are more important than others. So a lot of people who do the national circuit, TOC-style debate, they think their way is best, while forgetting about people who do more regional debate, or who do most of their debating in their state. That's equally as valuable to the individuals. Right? It makes no difference if you get on a plane to go to a tournament every weekend, which is fun, done that, been there. It makes no difference in what you're learning to also stay within your own state, your own region and debate. Getting a lot of the same set of skills. How about this one? Those crazy policy debaters. Why do they talk so fast? No one understands what they're saying? Or the parents or the teachers say, there's no communicative value in that. Right? They learn nothing, it's unintelligible. Those people are wrong. Conversely, those of us who speak quickly say, how can the other debate events go so slow? They don't cover enough arguments. Aren't they bored? Those people are wrong. How about the high-tech teams, right? We're all on laptops. We jump things back and forth. We can sync files to one another. We think that's the way to go versus having paper evidence. But the people who have paper hate our laptops. Right? But the people who have the laptops kind of put the people with paper at a disadvantage because everybody thinks, well, you've got all kinds of money, and so you must be better than us, and you can transfer things back and forth. Okay. It's not necessarily true. There are huge disadvantages to being a computer team. Your computer crashes. A program won't open. You can't sync to your partner. It takes additional prep time. Paper people. The computer people look at them like, oh, get on a computer, right? Save a tree. There are huge advantages to having paper. You have it in front of you. You don't lose as much prep time. The round can be a little bit shorter. I like paper. Notice what all of my lectures are on. Then notice what the other staff members, when they go to do their lectures, if they're on computers or if they're on paper. I debated with paper. Oddly enough, I debated with paper. I'm the one that moved the Mason team to paperless. There is no right or wrong answer to it. Or how about varsity teams, right? If you've done debate before, if you remember being a novice, having no clue what was going on, being really intimidated, right? You were scared, and there was the older varsity kids, and they all knew each other. They had some idea of what was going on. You were all in each other's shoes. I was once a novice. Hard to believe after 20 years of doing this activity, over 20 years, that I once had no idea what I was doing. I will never forget the first semester of my freshman year in high school, I spent literally months taping evidence onto these little index cards. This is how we used to do it. I didn't know what you did with these things, so I took them home and I memorized them, right? And my mom would come in the room to talk to me. I'd be like, Mom, leave me alone. I have 500 more index cards to memorize before this tournament. I had no idea. No one told me I was supposed to read it in a debate round. Okay? So when it would be time to debate, I would literally have them memorized in my head. So someone would make an argument and I'd be like, interesting point. Smith in 1990 says, yada, yada, yada. So I was doing really well. I have no idea how, okay, because I didn't use evidence, paper, I just memorized it all. No one called me out on it. No one said a word. Okay? I didn't know why I was really taping all these different pieces of those quotations to cards. The varsity kids told me to do it, and I sat down and I did it. Okay, and I was afraid they would beat me up if I did not. Back then, it was okay, for kids on the same team to beat each other up. It's not so good now. Okay, I used to have big bruises. I was doing pretty well, so the coach decided to move me up to JV with a junior debater. So we're prepping. We carry all this evidence into the room. I don't know why. I think, well, maybe you reference it. I don't know why these morons don't just memorize it, is what I thought in my head. I get up to do the speech, my partner says, where's your evidence? And I say, it's in my head. She says, what do you mean? You can take it up and read it. I looked at her, I'm like, are you kidding me? I've spent 6 months memorizing all of this and I could have just read it? I had no idea. Okay. This is my debate career, this is how I started. Right, so everybody starts this way. So from there, to being so clueless that I didn't know you could read the evidence in the round because no one had told me, to doing stuff like this. Okay, so we're all novice. So as a novice, it's easy to be intimidated. Someone who's brand new to debate, it's easy to be intimidated. Don't be. We're all learning how to do this activity at some point. And for the most experienced people, there's always ways to get better. I've been doing this activity for a long time. I still look at my debaters to be like, what do you think about this argument? Or, help me work my computer. Okay? Right. So, remember that. Conversely, varsity debaters, you think you're really cool cats, don't you? Mm-hmm. But look, Christian Lissick shake his head. He's like, yeah, I do think I'm cool. Okay, right? Come on. And remember, you once had no clue what you were doing. Someone taught you. So as an older varsity member, you need to remember that you have a sense of responsibility to kids who have never done debate before. You should not make them feel bad. You should not laugh at them. We might laugh a little later. Because you remember those stories, right? But help them. If you're a varsity debater, you want novice to come into this activity and learn it. Okay? Like to my staff, how many of you remember when you first started, your very first day of debate? Yeah?
So this is summer of 8th grade. I had no clue, I had no introduction to any debate events whatsoever. Day one, walk in the door to debate camp. Just sit down my bags. Instantly, they make us do an extemp speech in front of everyone, instantly. It's terrible. I hated debate in the first half of debate camp. Wanted to quit so bad. And all resolved by the end. Just cramming in so much information.
You don't forget. Who else remembers? Todd?
Oh, I remember my freshman year. The first assignment was, go back and forth why warming is real and not real. And my response was, but warming's not real. And I remember they just looked at me like, oh, we're going to have a long ways to go.
Right. Everybody's been there. Okay. My point is, there really is no superior way, one better than another. Rather, we're all from the same community. So why, in God's name, we spend so much time being separated from each other makes no difference. Right? You should be together. It doesn't make any sense to me why there's isolation. Are there times that you need to work in your debate event? Yes. There are differences between the debate events. That doesn't mean you don't have the same end goal. You all are trying to learn. You're all trying to perfect your public speaking. Notice what I haven't said. You're not all trying to win, because it's not at the forefront of your mind. But that comes along with time. We're all here for the same reason. Here's what I want to do. You might want to pause this. Quickly, I want everyone to say who they are